The Dallas Cowboys get a huge win over the Kansas City Chiefs, 31-28. Dallas claws their way back to above 500, 6-5-1. The Kansas City Chiefs fall to 6-6 in a game that really decided both of their playoff fates, more so Dallas than the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs still could make the playoffs, but Dallas is trying to get into the dance, and they are 3-0 in the past 3 games since the bye week, and beating the Super Bowl teams, the past 2 Super Bowl teams in the last 4 days is incredible, and I can't wait to talk about this game, so let's get into it. All right, I really have no plan to talk about this game. I guess I'm just going to talk about it and the standouts and who played well and all of that stuff. And let's start on the offensive side of the ball with Dak Prescott. He was incredible tonight. 27 of 39, 320 yards, 8.2 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, had the 1 interception early on with pressure up the middle, tried to step in, make a throw, kind of short-armed it because he was getting hit and threw the interception. Not ideal to start a game, but I was really worried when that happened that we were going to get a sweaty Dak game where he starts getting a little nervous and he's not sure what he's seeing. He's not trusting his feet. He's not trusting his eyes, his receivers. He's backpedaling out of the pocket, not trusting his protection. And that wasn't the case at all. He was phenomenal. He had a 100 passer rating and 86 QBR. He didn't take a sack at all. And some of that had to do with the offensive line holding up well in protection. But Chris Jones was also making plays up the middle. Dak was just getting outside the pocket and making throws. If this team is going to go on a run and they're going to beat the Chargers and the Lions and the Commanders and the Giants and these teams down the stretch, they're going to need Dak to play at this level every single game. And we know that he's capable of it. He's been doing it all season long. It just stinks that the defense wasn't good enough to help this team get wins when they really needed it because Dak's been playing at an MVP level all year long. And I can say that he outplayed Patrick Mahomes. In a game with half of America watching on Thanksgiving, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes, making throws all over the field. And he did it with a pretty meh run game. Javonte Williams had 17 carries for 59 yards, averaged 3.5 yards per attempt. But I didn't really want to talk about Javonte. I thought he was solid in this one. He's always a guy that's going to pick up those tough yards, run between the tackles, punish the defense. But I was impressed with Malik Davis tonight. Not that he should get more carries or he needs to be touching the ball 10 to 12 times a game or anything like that. But for a guy that has been cut, signed, waived, put on the practice squad, like constantly in and out of the Cowboys building, for him to hit that 43-yard touchdown run was insane. In a game like this, Javonte probably just needed a breather. Chris Jones jumps over a gap, leaves the middle open. Malik Davis sticks his foot in the ground and outruns 2 or 3 DBs, completely burns the safety. The safety had an angle on him, but Malik Davis just has too much juice. And we've been looking for that from this team, from this running back room, from any of these guys on offense. Juice. Who has juice? And Malik Davis showed that he did. That's your running back 2 for the rest of the season. They cut Kaiir Elam to make room for Davis on the 53-man roster. We need a change of pace guy. Maybe he needs to touch the ball 4, 5, 6 times a game and let Javonte deal with the other 15 to 20 carries. But that's a nice change of pace. I mean, he hit a 43-yard touchdown in a very critical spot in the game, in a very big game on Thanksgiving. Shout out to Malik Davis. I'm happier for the person than I am the player because he's been up and down throughout his career, hasn't gotten a ton of opportunities. So to take full advantage of that one, the first week on the 53, he's been getting elevated from the practice squad, but actually on the 53 this week to make that play. That's your running back 2. Let's talk about the Cowboys wide receivers with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. To me, this felt like the first week that both of these guys were playing in tandem. Not that their numbers were off the charts. They both didn't go for 200 yards or anything like that. It didn't feel like Dallas was forcing them the ball. Dak or Brian Schottenheimer, they weren't looking around saying, okay, well, we got to get CeeDee involved. It's been a quarter and a half. Or we got to get Pickens involved. It's been a quarter and a half. It was just very even and balanced throughout the game. Like one guy would make a play, the other guy would make a play. One guy would make a play, and it was just back and forth. CeeDee had 7 for 112. 16 yards per catch, 1 touchdown, had the long of 51. George Pickens was 6 for 88, 14.7 yards per catch, and a long of 39. Well, he did have that really impressive hurdle. Dude, that guy's got to be the funniest dude I've ever seen play football in my life. Like, he's always doing something where you just, like, turn your head to the side and you're like, he is an incredible, incredible athlete. But he's also hilarious because you're wondering what is going through his mind. This game is exactly what we envisioned when Dallas traded for Pickens. 7 catches for CD, 6 for Pickens, 9 targets for CD, 13 for Pickens. And what's crazy is it didn't seem like he had 88 yards. Like, I'm not saying that he had a bad game, but it wasn't like something crazy. And the fact that he still hit 88 yards. This man almost had 100 yards when you could look at it and be like, oh, okay, he didn't play that great. He could play better. And he still almost clipped 100. CD 112. They actually added up to a perfect 200 yards between the both of them. 13 catches for 200 yards and 1 touchdown. And before we go on to the defensive side of the ball, I'm going to make this quick. It's late here on the East Coast. I wasn't planning on making this video. I was going to wait until the morning, but I wanted to get some content out for you guys. So if you could, head down there, hit that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel because we're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers. We started to slow down a little bit on subscribers. We're trying to get that number back up. But before we go, I want to talk about the offensive line, mainly Nathan Thomas, the left tackle, stepping in for Tyler Guyton, who missed this game with an ankle injury or a concussion. He missed this game. Nathan Thomas has been switching from the left side to the right side, from the right side to the left side, depending on who's hurt, who's not playing well, this or that. Nathan Thomas steps in. Dak Prescott didn't get sacked a single time in this one. I'm not saying he played perfect. I haven't watched the All-22 yet. I'm going to do that in the morning. But for him to go out there as the left tackle for an entire game against the Chiefs, against Steve Spagnuolo, somebody that likes to send the blitz and stunts up front and do different things to try to confuse the offensive line and Dak Prescott, for Nathan Thomas to not be a problem, that's a huge, huge win, and shout out to him. Same thing goes for Kevontae Turpin. I've been up and down on Turpin all year. I mean, really since he got to Dallas. I think he has more potential as a receiver, but there's always something that he does where I'm just looking like, why are we doing that? What is this? What is that? For him to recover that fumble, to just be running towards Pickens while he's getting tackled, and to jump on that ball and quite literally save the game. There's no doubt in my mind at 28 to 21 that the Chiefs, if they get that ball inside the Dallas's 5-yard line, they're going 95 yards to tie up the game. That's just how it goes in the NFL. Momentum for Turpin to make that play, at least allow Dallas a chance to kick a field goal, was monumental. Dallas won by a field goal. So that's my offensive standouts. Let's move over to the defensive side of the ball and start with Jadeveon Clowney. 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 quarterback hits. Clowney is someone that Dallas signed, 2 or 3 weeks into the season, a piece that they thought could elevate their pass rush group, but also stopping the run. I think he's been just that. He's not some super juiced up young guy, top prospect, or anything like that, but he's a savvy vet that understands how to get after the quarterback, stay in his rush lane. When Quentin Williams pushes Patrick Mahomes outside the pocket, Jadeveon Clowney is there to make a play. That's exactly what Dallas has him for, and they got repaid handsomely with today's game. Shout out to Clowney, DeMarvion Overshown, Savon Ravel, 2 guys that are coming back from injuries, 2 guys that Dallas is going to rely on for the rest of the season. Overshown just seems to get healthier and healthier and healthier every single week, and that's something that I talked about. I'm pretty sure I talked about it here on the channel. I'm excited about Overshown in week 16, 17, 18, because he's only going to continue to get healthy. If he's at like 80% right now, maybe you can get him at 90%. If Dallas gets into the playoffs, you might get 90% Overshown, and that drastically changes the outlook of not just the defense, but the linebacker room as well. Revel's the exact same way. Maybe he's at 80% right now, but I can tell you guys, once again, I haven't watched the All-22. I can tell you that dude is an NFL corner, an NFL level corner that can make plays. His arm length and his size at the position, it's like he just blankets wide receivers. The one rep, I guess, that we did see on TV was him against Rashee Rice. The technique looked really good. Mahomes ended up actually overthrowing that one, but that might have been because he felt like Revel was in too good of a position for him to try to fit it in there. I can't wait to watch him get more healthy as the season goes on. It seems like Sam Williams had his best game of the season over the past 2 or 3 weeks. It seems like he's kind of started to put it together. He had a really good pass rush rep. Hopefully I can remember to clip that while I'm watching through the film. Sam Williams had a good rep. Same thing for Donovan Ezaraku, a couple good reps in there as well. And then of course, Quinnen Williams. But do I really need to say anything else? It's just like he's changed life in Dallas. He's made it so much easier to be a Cowboys fan and helped the defense tremendously. So if you guys have any other standouts from this game that I missed that I didn't talk about, please leave them down below in the comments. And like I said, if you enjoyed, please like this video, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers. Hopefully, my brain wasn't all over the place in this video because it is a little bit late and the adrenaline dump after a Cowboys game is real. So I'll see you guys tomorrow after I watch the All-22. Might do an All-22 breakdown, maybe another video about this game. I don't really know yet, but like this one, I love you all. And good night or good morning, depending on when you're watching this. All right, bye.